Hi, this is Keith Bryant for Global SMT and Packaging at Productronica India, day 3. And I'm here with Sanjeev, who is CEO of Arvind Consultancy. Welcome, sir. First question, I guess, is as you're one of the acknowledged experts, tell us how the Indian market is going today and how it's moving towards semiconductor.
Okay, so Keith, the Indian market is really going through a very exciting time. On first hand, with 1.42 billion population, our consumption story for electronic is growing pretty rapidly. Everyone is buying smartphone, tablets, laptops, and all sort of electronic gadgets. Only challenge India has gone through in last 20 plus years is when we signed WTO agreement, whatever electronic hardware industry was there earlier, we used to have Indian brands like Videocon, Onida, BPL in consumer, Zenith, HCL, Wipro in laptops and desktop. Wireline Revolution was on C-Dot technology. But then after signing WTO, we allowed electronic finished good imported zero duty. So electronics hardware industry got a bit of a setback because of the WTO agreement. But then as the consumption story started increasing, government realized that this is a very important sector and we have to have a self-reliant in electronics. So they came up with this production link incentive program where they were supporting mobile phone manufacturing, telecommunication, automotive electronics with 4 to 6% incentive to address the disability of manufacturing in India versus other parts of the world. And the impact of this PLI scheme was so good that earlier 30 to 40% was manufactured in India and 60% was imported. Now last year 80% is manufactured in India and 40% is imported. Sorry, 20% is imported. So now we have really achieved the manufacturing of electronics very well with this production link incentive program. But the next big challenge now for India is about the value addition. Most of the manufacturing is happening with CKD kit import and just doing SMT assembly in India. That needs to be changed because Indian market as per Ministry of Electronics is expected to grow to $400 billion by 2030 from $120 billion. And if we continue with the current value addition of 15% or 20%, okay, we will recognize hardly 60 to 80 billion dollars. Still, $300 billion will go out. And that's the reason government now has come up with a semiconductor policy where 50% incentive is supported by Government of India, 20% incentive is supported by state government. So if it is a $4 billion project, almost 70% is coming from government, which is very big. No other country is offering 70% incentive to electronics and semiconductor. So that is one good step. We have addressed semiconductor challenge. Now the next month, Government of India is going to announce component PLI, or they call it Specs 2, which is for passive component, bare PCB. So if we analyze the value chain of electronic, 40% value is in components, 30 to 40% value is in design, and only 20% value is in manufacturing. With component PLI and with semicon policy, we will try to address the 40% of component issue. Design is another big challenge because we have a great talent, but that talent is working either in a global captive design center or working as a design services. There are very few companies who are doing design-led manufacturing in India. So the next focus of India has to be on creating successful startups who will create IP and technology from India, both in chip design as well as in system design. So opportunity is big. Challenge is how to improve the value addition. But with the government focus on electronics and semiconductor sector, I think India has a bright future.
How do you think it's going to move forward in the next few years? What do you see as the steps and maybe the challenges?
Absolutely. So in next few years already there are 5 proposals approved for semicon projects, 1 wafer fab and 4 ATMP OSAT. There are another 8 to 10 proposals which are under approval stage. So I think semiconductor ecosystem will evolve. There is a scheme called DLI, Design Link Incentive, to build a fabless ecosystem in India. And that will create 100 fabless companies from India. Today, all top 30 semiconductor companies have their large captive design centers in India, but very few fabless companies from India. So that is going to change in next 4-5 years. Third thing is EMS is already growing because what government did smartly, that they have put import duty of 15% on assembled PCBA. So companies who used to import SKD PCB and just do screwdriver assembly, now they are importing CKD kit and doing SMT assembly in India. So you have seen that in last 4-5 years, so many SMT machines are purchased in India. So many new lines have been set up by global EMS company as well as Indian EMS company. So electronics manufacture will continue to grow. Today, EMS activity is around $30 billion, which is expected to grow to $80 billion in next 5 to 6 years, which is phenomenal. So on one hand, component, then design of chips, design of embedded electronic systems, and EMS activity. So all 4 pillars of our industry are going to grow.
And obviously they're going to grow relatively evenly because that's the nature of our business as things get better.
Yes.
Yeah. And is there anything more you think the government could do? I mean, they're doing so much already, but if you could say to them, guys, everything's good, but if you could just do this?
Yeah, I think I expect 3 things from government. Current PLI is supporting volume-based incentive. They should change it to value-based incentive. You improve the value addition and you get an incentive. Because volume-based incentive is not going to help you in long run. The day you stop the incentive, people may go out of India. Okay, so the incentive scheme should be linked to value addition. That is first. They should change. Secondly, they should encourage more of design. Today, $10 billion you have allocated for manufacturing of semiconductor, but for design of semiconductor only $120 million. I personally see both should have been given equal weightage. Why can't we have next Qualcomm and Broadcom from India? And that requires big investment in design. So our design investment should grow. That is the second important thing we should be doing. Okay, and the third thing is basically there are so many embedded electronics design IDH as well as OEMs in India. Okay, somewhere we should bring a preferential market access. A product which is designed in India should get a preference in local buying because our domestic market is big and we should leverage that to promote local industry. Means global quality, global companies are welcome. But if a product is designed in India, it should get a preferential market access. This is the third thing I expect.
Well, I have to say, bold proposals, great information, wealth of knowledge. Sanjeev, thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, Keith. It's a pleasure meeting you.
No problem.
Thank you.
That's Keith Bryant for Global SMT and Packaging, signing out from Productronica India, Day 3.